Gospel of John, chapter 2. Jesus came to a wedding. Now, on the third day, Jesus' mother went to a wedding feast in the Galilean village of Cana. Jesus and the disciples were all invited to the banquet, but with so many guests, they ran out of wine. And when Mary realized it, she came to Jesus and asked, "There was no wine. Can't you do something about it?" Jesus replied, "My dear one, don't you understand that if I do this, it will change nothing for you, but it will change everything for me. My hour of unwilling my power, and again to come." Mary then went to the servers and told them, "Whatever Jesus told you, do it." Nearby stood 6 stone water pots meant to be used for the Jewish wedding rituals. Each one could hold about 20 gallons or more. Jesus came to the servers and instructed them, "Fill the pots with water right up to the very brim." Then he said, "Now fill your pitchers and take them to the master of the ceremonies." And when they poured out the pitchers for the master for ceremony to sample, the water had become wine. When he tasted the water that had become wine, the master of ceremonies were impressed with its quality, although he did not know where the wine had come from. Only the servers knew. He called the bridegroom over and said to him, "Every host serves the best wine first. The other handed the couple too, and then he served the cheaper wine. But you, my friend, you reserve the most exquisite wine till now." This miracle in Cana was the first of many extraordinary miracles Jesus performed in Galilee that reveal his glory, and the disciples believed in him. Jesus at the temple. After the wedding, Jesus' mother, the brother, the disciple traveled to Capernaum to stay there for a few days. When the time was close for the Jews' Passover to begin, Jesus walked to Jerusalem and went to the temple courtyard, and noticed was filled with merchants selling oxen, lambs, doves for exorbitant prices, while others were overchanging the exchange currency behind the counters, overcharging. So Jesus found some cords and made them into a whip. Then he drove out every one of them and the animal from the courtyard of the temple, and they kicked over the tables filled with the money, scattered everywhere. And they told the merchants, "There's things out here. Don't you dare commercialize my father's house." That's when his disciple remembered the scripture, "I am consumed with a fire passion to keep your house pure." Then the Jewish religious leader challenges, "So what authority do you have to do this sort of thing? And what supernatural sign will you show us to prove it?" Jesus answered, "Destroy this temple, and I will raise it up again in 3 days." Then the Jewish leader sneered at Jesus' answer. "This temple took 46 years to build. You mean to tell us you will raise it up in 3 days?" But they failed to understand that Jesus was speaking the temple as a body. The disciple remembers the prophecy after Jesus rose from the dead, and they believed both the scripture and what Jesus had said. While Jesus was at the Passover feast, a number of his followers began to grow, and many gave their allegiance to him because all the miraculous signs they had seen him doing. But Jesus did not yet entrust himself to them because he knew how fickle human hearts can be. He did not know one to tell him about human nature. He fully understood what a man was a king.